And here now to our top story amid controversy over the BBC film on Prime Minister Modi. Foreign Secretary during the time of Gujarat riots, Kawal Sibal has slammed the secret UK government inquiry report cited in this film. The report that was never published has been shown in detail in this BBC film and calls violence during Gujarat riots politically motivated. Sibal raised questions on the secret report, asking how did a foreign country carry out secret inquiry in another country without Government of India knowing about it. He also responded to former British Foreign Secretary Jack Straw's claim in the film that Modi, the then Gujarat Chief Minister, played an active part in pulling back the police. Sibal tweeted and said that he is aware of the mischief by the UK mission. He recalled that he was informed by an EU envoy that UK mission sent their diplomat to Gujarat and circulated a highly slanted report to the European Union envoys in Delhi. He said that this had prompted him to issue a warning to missions in Delhi to not interfere in India's internal matter.
The British government had absolutely no locus standi to conduct an inquiry or investigate something that is happening in a foreign country. This is gross interference in the internal affairs of other countries. If they wanted to get briefed, the right way to do diplomatically is either to ask their ambassador to come and speak at the right level, or call in the Indian High Commissioner in the UK and express their concerns, whatever they are, with regard to what is happening on the ground. But you do not interfere in a sovereign country.
Now remember, former BJP MP Swapan Das Gupta, who was also interviewed by the BBC for this documentary, revealed that he had objected to the UK sending diplomats for an inquiry into Gujarat riots, saying junior staffers with apparently tendentious conclusions were sent to carry out inquiry. Listen in to this exclusive conversation.
You make interventions when they specifically talk about a certain European Union report which indicts Modi, and they then, of course, place your bite after that, where you're seen contradicting that particular report.
Well, I actually contradicted two things. Firstly, I questioned the basis, the assumption on which the EU report was made. But prior to that, I'd actually even questioned the British High Commission's own internal assessment, where I said they had sent some junior people to Gujarat at that time, very, very junior staffers, and they came up with, predictably tendentious conclusions. That part was not incorporated, I am afraid.
While the government of India has dubbed it as bias propaganda, many in the Congress party are latching on to this. The latest is B.K. Hari Prasad. B.K. Hari Prasad was asked a question on Prime Minister Modi's outreach, and B.K. Hari Prasad, viewer, said that, look, Modi's real face is out in this BBC documentary. On that note, let's open this up. Rashmi Samant needs no introduction. Human rights activist, former student union head, Oxford University. Kapil Madan, political analyst, Atiq Kothari, founding member of Indic Society, and Professor Atiq Ur Rehman, political analyst, with us. Now, Kapil Madan, the Congress party is still backing the BBC documentary, film, propaganda, narrative, whatever you want to call it.
So, look at Pranesh. Let's look at, the things in the right perspective. Can you deny the fact that the riots happened in Gujarat? No. Can you deny the fact that the people have lost their life in Gujarat? No. Can you deny the fact that Mr. Narendra Modi was the Chief Minister back then in Gujarat? No. Now,
Mr. Madan, have you heard about the Supreme Court of India? Do you know what it is?
Allow me to complete. Allow me to complete. Please don't interrupt. Allow me to complete. I am now coming on to the Supreme Court judgment and the finding. Now, the Supreme Court's judgment and the Supreme Court finding has ruled out any larger conspiracy, by the government official and, precisely Mr. Narendra Modi or, Mr. Amit Shah.
On street violence right now. In Leicester, it was misinformation which caused the attacks on Hindus. So misinformation is alarming, and it is scary that an organization like the British Broadcasting Corporation has selectively displayed, facts, and it has misplaced judgments made in that documentary. I think that's very concerning.
No, what's also concerning is this certificate that the Congress party is handing out to the BBC. Isn't it, Mr. Kothari?
I completely concur, sir. I think the Congress party is doing massive amount of disservice to themselves by actually latching onto what I would call is a complete botched-up broadcast that the BBC essentially published on 17th of January. The fact that the Congress party is latching onto this, they're essentially diminishing the Supreme Court's verdict. And by the way, the Supreme Court's verdict actually came out when they were in power, not the BJP. Number two, they're diminishing the SIT report, which grilled Narendra Modi, a sitting chief minister, for 6 to 8 hours, put him through narco tests, and they're diminishing all of that. And I'm glad that the Congress party is essentially doing this, because it also brings into foray a lot of information which was not there in the public domain, discussed with this amount of passion previously. For example, one of them is that Narendra Modi had sent a request to all the three neighboring states, which were all Congress ruled states, MP, Maharashtra and Rajasthan, for police assistance. All the three states have denied it, and there are written documentation to prove that as well. There is an interview that was published not long ago when Narendra Modi was essentially facing Digvijay Singh, and that question was posed to him, and Digvijay Singh was completely silent on this issue. So all of these questions are essentially opening up. The Pandora's box is opening up. Similarly, Jack Straw. I mean, getting a contentious person like Jack Straw to be interviewed by BBC. I'm grateful to the BBC for doing this, because now people who live in the glass house.
Mr. Kothari, I'm glad you mentioned the name of Jack Straw, because by giving a clean chit to the documentary, the Congress party is also legitimizing individuals, discredited individuals, I must add, like Jack Straw.
The Iraq War. Absolutely. The Iraq War was one of those designs by the Tony Blair government, which they still haven't been held accountable for. So we as British Indians demand that Tony Blair be held accountable for, and Jack Straw, as the foreign secretary who oversaw murders of thousands of Iraqis, be held accountable for that as well.
He was also, believed by many, he was also the head of the British propaganda machinery not too long ago. I'll come to that, but let's quickly play out. This is what B.K. Hariprasad, the Congress leader, said.
कल सुना देश के विश्वगुरु नरेंद्र मोदी जी येडियुरप्पा को बुला के बताया है मुसलमानों का उसको पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस में लेके काम करना है। ये ऐसा लगता है जो भूत भगवत गीता को प्रवचन दे रहा है, भगवत गीता के बारे में प्रवचन दे रहा है। और कल ही BBC 1 और 2 का रिपोर्ट बहुत साफ है। नरेंद्र मोदी जी जब गुजरात के मुख्यमंत्री थे, अल्पसंख्यकों के ऊपर जो हुआ है, 2000 लोगों का कत्ल हुआ है, वो सोली इसका कॉम्प्लिसेंट एटीट्यूड रिस्पॉन्सिबल है करके बहुत साफ BBC बोला है।
अतीक उर रहमान, इस बयान को कैसे देखते हैं आप, जो B.K. हरिप्रसाद जो कांग्रेस के सीनियर लीडर हैं वो जो कह रहे हैं, व्हाट डू यू मेक ऑफ दिस?
Well, there are only 2 or 3 points I would like to place. Point number one is, and this is related to the question that the Supreme Court has, given clean chit to Mr. Modi. Well, you see, point number one is, throughout the Gujarat cases, the riot cases, most of which were tried elsewhere in Mumbai, the main purpose of the courts taking up the cases outside Gujarat was that it will be marred by some kind of intimidation, and that was the reason that the judiciary tried in other states rather than being tried in Gujarat. Second important related point is, throughout the Gujarat cases up till the Supreme Court, Mr. Modi was wielding tremendous political power.
Mr. Rahman, my simple question is, sir, what is this secret report that the BBC has, but the Congress government and the agencies under Congress could not get? And now Congress is saying that, look, they have done the right thing.
Fine. Since justice was not done to the Gujarat, people who suffered, lost their lives and their kins, the chapter cannot be closed.
No one is closing the chapter. Justice must be done to all the people who suffered in 2002. All. I am underlining all. But Kapil Madan has his hand up. 1 minute. I am coming to you. मैं वापस आता हूँ. Kapil Madan, you wanted to answer that question. What is the secret report that you did not get that the BBC has got, and now that has been debunked?
Now, Pranesh, sorry I got disconnected when I was speaking previously.
No, you are still disconnected.
अरे मेरे को बोलने तो दो, आवाज आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही है मेरी?
आवाज तो आ रही है
मेरी।
Disconnected from facts.
हाँ ओके कोई बात नहीं, अब मैं आपको डिस्कनेक्ट आपका कनेक्शन मैं एस्टैब्लिश कर देता हूँ. डिड यू नो व्हाट अमित शाह सेड ड्यूरिंग द गुजरात इलेक्शन कैंपेन एज रिसेंटली एज 2-3 मंथ्स बिफोर कि हमने 2002 के अंदर लोगों को सबक सिखा दिया. तो वो किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बोल रहे थे? जरा मुझे आप बताओ. आपको तो फैक्ट्स बहुत ज्यादा पता है, आप तो इतने बड़े और इतने
He was talking about rioters. The context is clear. He was talking about rioters, Kapil Madan. Rioters. Now, are you in defense of rioters? No, you tell me. Are you defending the rioters?
Now tell me.
Are you defending the rioters, Kapil Madan?
2002.
Are you speaking up for rioters?
अच्छा आप एक और बात बताएं.
नहीं, अभी आप बताइए. आपने एक सवाल पूछा है, एक-एक करके करते ना. Let's do this. Are you defending rioters?
No, they are defending Bilkis Bano's rape.
No, but you just said what is the context. I gave you the context. Come on, Kapil Madan. You should have. I would have liked. I'll tell you, Kapil Madan. I'll tell you the problem is. It's like as if the Congress party was waiting for the BBC to come out with something. You should have told the BBC that look, we know, we have an established system in the country. We have a Supreme Court, a healthy judiciary, and a functioning democracy. We do not need a lesson from BBC on anything. Now, Rashmi Samant, shouldn't the BBC be also talking about the famine that Winston Churchill presided over, or for instance, if you want to not talk about India, the colonial persecution, for instance, the Mau Mau massacre, the Black Sunday?
Definitely, Jallianwala Bagh massacre left dead. I mean, there's so much that they can talk about. I think Britain talking about India and trying to point fingers is literally like the pot trying to call the kettle black. They have no moral ground to, even start lecturing us on anything. They had so much of their own issues to cover. But that being said, the very BBC documentary, the so-called documentary which is out, it is just full of interviews of people who seem to have a second-hand knowledge of the incident. So there is nothing new that's coming up, but just people who have made their opinions based on what they've seen and heard. So I think it is nothing but second-hand for 90% of that documentary is just second-hand knowledge coming from people who are completely disconnected from what happened during those times. So I think there is nothing, exclusive in that. There is no fact that was not known before. It is just a recycling of opinions to kind of restart the issue. But there are no any new findings. So I think at that we can conclude that we need to pay heed to what the Supreme Court is saying and not the BBC, because we are not a colony anymore. We are an independent country with our own judiciary, which is very well capable of finding facts and giving a befitting judgment.
Professor Atiq Ur Rehman. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Pranesh, it's so bizarre that you are not believing BBC, but you are all, into believing a third-grade director coming out with a film on the Kashmir genocide.
No, please mind your language. 1 minute. Atiq Ur Rehman Saab, sir, mind your language. Let's be civil here on the show, please.
No.
Let's not call people first grade, second grade, third grade. Let's not do that, sir, please. Do not trivialize this, sir. Please, let's be responsible. Atiq Ur Rehman Saab, I have greatest of regards for you, sir. Please.
Film, and you believed him.
No, how do you know that is propaganda? If that was propaganda, this is gospel, huh? How do you judge that?
People will question you. How is that this, a dichotomy in your thoughts?
What is the... Did you hear Kanwal Sibal? Is Kanwal Sibal a member of the BJP?
I am not uncivil. He is a third-grade director.
No, Kanwal Sibal is a third-grade diplomat. No. Is Kanwal Sibal also a third-grade diplomat? Atiq Ur Rehman Saab, क्या बोल रहे हैं, sir? If you run out of logic.
The debate on protecting Agnihotri. No need to do that.
No, I am not protecting anyone. I am only, 1 minute, sir. I am only protecting civility and decency on TV. 1 minute. I am not here protecting anyone. Vivek Agnihotri can speak for himself. Okay.
Why you believe Vivek Agnihotri?
Okay, let's leave it at, let's leave it here for the moment. This remains a top focus. I thank all of you for joining us. More breaking inputs coming in as we speak.